the wall that defined a nation. I'm Rebecca Lieb.
I'm Jason Horton.
And this is Ghost Town.
This episode is personal and important to me. I was just recently in Berlin, and one of the things, top of my list was the Berlin Wall.
Yeah,
and I'll get into why, but it really, growing up as a child of the '80s, the Berlin Wall was it was huge. Discussed. Yeah, huge. It was discussed. It was not even in the history books yet.
Oh my God!
They later on became part of the history books.
I'm playing a montage in my head about the 80s, which is just like Big Macs, Berlin Wall,
Benetton.
Madonna. Yeah.
So this is, I'm just so, that's why I waited a little bit about on this one. I waited to kind of come back from Europe, kind of digest it all, go back, look at pictures, do a little reading, and we went back to a little World War II, and I'm excited about this one.
I love it. I love it. I'm a little younger and hotter, so it was not as much like that was like kind of post my time. But I remember in my favorite bar and restaurant, it was a spy themed restaurant in Milwaukee. It still exists. It's called the Safe House. It's incredible. They have a piece of the Berlin Wall in there, and I was like, what is the deal with this concrete piece? And I went to a public school and I didn't know. So I was always like, oh, this must be really cool if this cool spy bar has this. And I did my own research and here we are.
I actually went to, when I was in Vegas, I went on Fremont and I went to, maybe it was the Golden Nugget. They have a piece.
Old school Vegas.
I may have mentioned this on a previous episode, but they have a piece of the Berlin Wall in the urinal behind glass.
Huh.
So you're just
staring.
You're just staring, into, history while peeing and around penny slots. So.
That's great. Well, it's just kind of like defers your worry from money and the disparity of Vegas. Is that the right word? Who knows?
Well, you don't have to gamble on our Patreon.
Oh,
our new and improved Patreon that we've been toiling over.
We've been toiling. We've been stressing and toiling. Long nights. Harsh lighting, sweatshirts, just my MacBook Pro, sweat. My cat's like, "Are you going to be okay?" And I'm like, "Shut up!"
Yeah, why are you talking? You're a cat.
It doesn't make any sense. And then I'm like, "It's done." And then I slowly shut my laptop.
Yeah, and I just stare into space.
Yeah, that's right. I slept standing up.
Our Patreon, we decided we wanted to make more episodes.
Yeah, we decided we want to keep doing this.
Yeah, we want to continue.
If we could.
Yeah. So we're going to, right now it has a few tiers. Keep it simple.
3 tiers. Holy Trinity, baby.
Yeah, it's just like, find some conspiracy in it if you want.
If you want.
Go for it.
Please. Read into it. Start a Reddit thread immediately. All caps.
But, so one, I call it the main tier. I think the one that people will most be... I'd be excited about all 3 because because I find value in all those things.
Yeah.
But we're going to have 2 Patreon-only exclusive episodes a month.
They're going to be so fun. And they're going to talk about things that are a little off the beaten path. Like kind of also, I think it's going to be really exciting because we're going to talk about ways to kind of get there and more of a how-to. I know we usually go through history, but now it's going to be much more of a DIY kind of a feel to it.
And kind of so the things that you might not find on our regular episodes, you're going to get 2 exclusive, and then, of course, the Patreon wall.
Of course, the Patreon wall.
We're gonna, so we're gonna give you. It's got to
I'm
be exclusive.
Still open to do late night texts.
Yeah, we might just add on that
text.
Then we have. We're gonna have one where we mention you and maybe a little something about you on an episode.
Yeah. So wait, the first one is $1 one.
It's just a tip.
Breakdown.
It's like, hey, listen, you want to help us out?
Support the arts. Thank you. Grazie. Kind of a thing.
Yes.
It's like if it were a sandwich. It's like it's a fucking standard. Grilled cheese, it satisfies you.
One type of
everything
cheese.
you need. Yeah, one type of cheese, no big deal. Grilled though, it's nice. It's nice. It's
grilled
a nice
hard.
grilled cheese, right? Yeah. So, second tier, you get access to the Patreon. You get these 2 amazing exclusive episodes. You get a little bit more interaction with us. It's like
you're supporting.
Yeah, it's like a tuna fit. It's like a tuna melt.
Albacore, baby.
Yeah, baby. Only the best.
And then the third one is, you get all those things.
Yeah.
But then you also get mentioned on an episode.
Yeah, so you do. It's a $25 one, and I will give you a free tarot read.
Yeah.
So if it was a grilled cheese tuna melt, this one's just a fish.
It's just
really
a fish
nice,
flopping
like a
around.
bronzino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fish in a bow tie.
What do you like?
Yeah.
So pick one.
It's out now, patreon.com/ghosttownpod. We want to do more where we go to, like we did with Janis Joplin, the death of Janis Joplin. We want to go to more places, do it on more locations that cost money.
It does, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, we are we're in the red a little bit.
Yeah. We want to be
but
in the
not
black.
in love. Yeah, we want to be in the black.
Yeah.
So we're in a little bit in the red.
The blue or the
so
green.
if you're wondering, like, where is this going to? It's going to kind of improving the scope of the podcast.
Yeah, we just put it straight back. We put it straight back into our bucket list of places to visit and report back to you on.
Yes, and I think that it gives it that. And I've heard from a lot of people that they kind of when it's on that location, they kind of felt like they were there a little bit more.
Yeah, and it's also really fun, like enlisting people to help out, making it into something bigger than the podcast or like whatever. And I think that's really exciting.
It's bigger than Rebecca and I. It's bigger than all of us. So patreon.com/ghosttownpod. It's not yet.
Like Bachelor Nation, but
but
with
not
Janice Ghosts?
Yeah, just with Ghost.
Yeah.
So patreon.com/ghosttownpod. Check it out. Also, if you ever we want to start reading more. I know Rebecca got some messages we might read in one of these episodes. Ghost Town Pod on Instagram. Message us. ghosttownpod@gmail.com if you want us to read an email.
Any comments? If you want to make any comments about my voice or my body.
Which people have.
Oh, yeah.
We could read some reviews.
The price of fame, baby.
Yeah, and rate and review us on Apple Podcast if you're, if you have access. It just helps, and it doesn't cost anything. It takes a second.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, we get the feedback. Rebecca, I don't know if she doesn't take the feedback.
Well,
you don't take the
what?
Feedback.
That's not what feedback's for.
No, it's
for bitching about.
Yeah, it's to get mad about it
on
but
air.
We even if if there's something that you don't like, we do appreciate you take the time to let us know, because listen, it's tons of podcasts I like, and there's always things about it. I was like, oh, that episode was like this, or I wish they do less of that, and that's okay.
Yeah, it is okay.
Yeah.
In fact, it's encouraged.
Yeah.
Let's all be ourselves.
Like I got since the last episode got rear-ended in a car accident. I was actually going. Remember we were talking about? I was doing a show at the Dime. It was right before the show.
Damn!
I was with our friend Steven Saff, and he's never been in a car accident before.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
he's a nervous man.
Yeah. No, but he's fine. He was really cool. He was super helpful.
That's good.
Rear-ended by a Maserati.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so
that's
but I'm borrowing my mother-in-law's car, so it's her car. But the guy was super. He looked like he was a producer. And in my mind, I'm so conditioned to think right place, right time. I was like, oh, he's gonna be like, listen, I'll give you a 3-picture deal.
Slip him your card. Yeah.
Did not happen.
That's what my mom would say. Yeah. She'd be like, how did you look? Did you look nice? And does that mean you're discovered?
Yeah. No,
did not happen. I discovered my insurance is out.
No, but it's totally fine. He was totally cool. I was actually able to. I mean, it needs to be fixed. But
I was able guy in a Maserati.
He was cool.
Damn.
He was maybe like 60, I'd say. I really don't know how old he was, but he was he just seemed like a producer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, on the positive side, it's about as close as I've probably gotten to a Maserati, up close. It was interesting because a couple of dudes walked up to him and said, "Hey, are you okay?" And he got out and he's like, "Yeah, are you okay?" He's like, they were like, "I wasn't in the accident, so I was just asking you," because I was still pulled over, walked over.
Yeah.
So that happened. So I'm kind of I was thinking of taking those bird scooters.
Yeah, those are fun.
Have you taken one?
Yeah, I rode one once.
Yeah, so I downloaded that app, and I'm right now Ubering until I bring the car in and stuff like that.
Yeah, you should take bird scooters everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't think you see a lot of, because you live in Atwater Village.
Yeah.
And I don't see a lot of bird scooters there.
I saw one for the first time, pretty close by.
They're pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's a pretty fun time.
I like the fact that people could things like ride sharing and whether it's Airbnb or whatever it is where people can kind of businessize their stuff or take, make, even though Bird is a company, but they're kind of putting more power in your hands from your phone.
Yeah, you don't need a car. You just need an iPhone.
And we just did a free thing for Bird just now, so now they're not going to...
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, come on, Bird.
Pretend
you didn't hear it.
Or just send Jason a scooter, for God's sake.
Yeah, or credit. Just send me a credit.
$5 or something. He's trying to make his way around town.
Yeah. I'm just trying to tool around town.
Yeah, I got my window fixed.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, my window. So I've been working on this show for a while, and I drive the station wagon, and one window was down, and I fixed it. And to fix a window in a BMW station wagon,
the parts are always
they're
expensive.
awful. And not to brag to you, this is my mom's car that was passed down to my brother, that was passed down to me. And then the other window like fell into the door, and I was so busy with work that at first I taped it up really nicely with like cardboard, and I was like, I'll take care of it. And then it
nicely
eventually,
with cardboard?
Yeah, it was like, it was like beautiful. Ooh. The handiwork was beautiful. Yeah. And then that kind of started coming off, and then one time it was like raining, and I just like had to put cardboard, and I just like threw some cardboard on there and like taped it up, and it got like less. Soon I just like cut the middleman. It was just like tape on my window, and then it was nothing. And then it was nothing on my window. It was just a gaping hole that told the world to steal my car.
Yeah, and you just hope for the best.
Yeah, and I did. And actually, I missed the hole because I would just pop my purse in there, just like throw it in and get my car and go. But now it's fixed. So we all have to be adults sometimes.
So we're, you know what I mean? Like we're rolling with the punches.
We're trying. We are trying. I'm trying.
You had what's going on? You had a couple dates last night?
I had a couple dates last night.
I feel let's get this out of the way.
Let's get this.
We're going to wait for another. Let's just get this out of the way.
You guys should know, I got my hair done, and I have these very...
Got your hair did.
Got my hair
Come on.
did. Yeah, that's right. I'm a woman in her 30s. I should definitely say that. I got that. I got some long-ass eyelashes that you sit like a dead person, and they like put lash by lash.
I've always been told, even when I was young, that I had really good eyelashes.
Every guy says that.
No, I really honestly, like, I've always, like, have pretty decent eyelashes.
They're fine. I mean... They're
come
fine.
on.
They're fine. I've seen guys with like gorgeous eyelashes. Like
I thought I had some pretty. Maybe as I get older, they're not as good as they used to be.
I don't know. I mean, nothing about me is as good as it used to be. It used to be meh.
Yeah.
So I got all this shit done. I went to my friend Shauna's wedding. It was wonderful. Came back immediately. Booked 2 dates, 1-to-1, baby. Because I am always working.
Were you kind of riding the wave of like, I just got my hair did?
Yeah, it was like, this blowout will not last forever.
Yeah.
Like, how much dry shampoo? Like, I bathed in dry shampoo and went on 2 dates. And I'm also leaving. I'll be back by the time this airs. But no, I won't be.
No, you won't be.
No, I won't be. I'll be in Wisconsin.
Yeah, because
I'm leaving.
Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My brain can't like comprehend this not coming out this day.
Yeah, no, it's.
I'm a simple woman.
It's literally like we're pretty much almost.
You're welcome for this
We're
Thanksgiving
doing this right
treat.
before it goes up.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Go
keep it fresh
into a room away from your family and listen to this angrily, loudly on your high school stereo.
Yeah,
please?
Before you get into a fight with your family. About politics.
Actually, about the noise that this podcast created. Yeah. Could you?
Yeah,
it's so punk.
Do it.
So okay, so I had these 2 dates. One of them was this guy that I kept matching with over and over on every app. And you tell me what you think about this date, both these dates, please. So I kept matching this guy. His name is Dusty. I'm really just blowing up people like short for Dustin, but like just go by Dustin, Dusty. I don't know.
I mean,
it feels very like
Dusty
70s.
Springfield has Dusty covered, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. He didn't though.
No.
So we went on this date. It was kind of like passive aggressive because he was just like kind of like salty on the apps, and I was just like, ugh. But then I was like, fine, we matched so many times. Here's my fucking number. And then so we made this date a week in advance, and halfway through the week he was like, hey, we may have to reschedule. I lost my wallet. And I was like, okay. I was like, but then part of me, and I shouldn't do this, but I was just like, this is just like a flake move. And I was like, it's okay. Online?
Before right after I got in a car accident, the next day I went to the Sony lot to work on a project. Lost my wallet there. But it was found by one of the guys. It was a bunch of influencers, whatever you want to call it. And he was like, oh, wait, I found a wallet earlier in the day. So I thought I lost it anywhere on the Sony lot. And I was like, I'm never going to find this again.
That is a guy thing. Girls, we lose our keys. I think we lose check cards.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, maybe he lost.
But also, like, if you lose it, give it a day to maybe find.
Yeah.
And then I was like, so I did the thing. I was being a fucking bitch. I was like, you don't online bank, you get a temporary, or you don't bank, get a temporary card. And he's like, I online bank. And I was like, that's all right. I'll just meet you. You can Venmo me. And he was like, I don't do that. I pay for women and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right. So then I just like let it go. And then 2 days later, he's like, found my wallet. See you at 7. Semi-tropic. And I was like, great. So we get there. This is also like So we get there. He's already like kissing my hand, like I'm like Pepe Le Pew style. It's like very like.
How old is he?
He's like
is he 700?
Is
he from the 14th century?
I know. So it's like he's like you're prettier than your pictures, and I was like, because I love flattery, but I also am like this is coming out a little too strong, and I'm kind of like I am also kind of an ice queen on dates. I think I get a little like aloof, I get nervous. But then he was like doing that stuff. His card got declined when he tried to pay too, which was like, but he wasn't embarrassed. Like I would be mortified, and like it's. Oh God, I don't want to like make a judgment call about it, but he was just like didn't miss a beat, and I was like, that's cool. Like how confident? That's cool. Yeah. But then I was like, oh, I mean, nothing to be said. I don't know. So I was like, whatever. Then he walks me to my car, but I don't finish my drink because I have a second date and I can't be too drunk for the second date. Wow. So I don't finish it. And I was like, oh, I got to go. I told him I had a show. So he puts coasters on both of our drinks to walk me out as if he's going to come back and drink our drinks. I don't know. And then on the way out, he takes out his vape pen. And I was like, fucking...
You can hold out for 50
I'm not like your best friend of 15 years right now. Yeah. Like just, exactly. You can't hold out. You must vape. You must
How old
vape.
Is he?
29. I was like, he like went in for a kiss, but I was like standing, like we were standing side by side. I was like, geez, like it was like,
Were you hoping for a kiss?
I thought he was cute, but all of this was like such a, like a, it was just, it wasn't like even a turn off. It was just like weird. And
if you heard somebody else tell this story, if another one of your friends told this story, what would you be like?
I'd be like, this guy's a mess. Yeah. Like this guy's all over the place.
What's he do?
He is an engineer. I'd be like this. Like you don't know what's happening with this guy. You know, it's everything. So then
did he look better than his picture?
He looked about the same, which great.
Was his shirt buttoned down?
He did wear a button-down
Weird.
shirt.
I could probably sketch this person.
Yeah, you can.
And a police were
brown
like, hey,
hair,
you described him.
white man.
Yeah.
So then I go to the second date at this other bar in Echo Park.
So this is the headliner.
This is the headliner, right? This is the main. Yeah, this is the main event, and I know him because he matched with me on nothing. I actually queried. I just sent a message to him on OkCupid one time. He never responded. We talked because we have a mutual friend at our mutual friend's show for like 40 minutes. So I was like, oh, he's not into me. Like we had a nice conversation, but like whatever. I reached out, but then we matched on Hinge, and he messages me immediately, and there's like bits, and it's fun, and like we set up this date. Then when we're texting, I'm like, do you remember we had a talk like 3 months ago at 3 of Clubs? And he was like, oh yeah. And so we keep talking, and we set up the date, and part of me is like, is he going to cancel the date? He didn't cancel the date, obviously. We talked. It was really fun. We were sitting at a fucking table, though. When you go on dates, don't sit at like sit at a bar so you can sit next to each other and like maybe touch, like flirt, like kind of get close. It was like job interviewee, but we had a lot of fun and like laughed and blah, blah, blah. He paid and walked me out. And I hate that I have to say paid because so many guys are like, split it. And I'm like, fucking... Yeah. I have children. Like,
have the budget. Have a budget.
Thousands of years of oppression. Can you just like pay for my fucking vodka soda? Yeah. He walked. And
my 2 lobster dinner, please.
Yeah, I'm hungry. I'm getting myself ready to have children.
Yeah, I need to
with
be
who?
fed.
I don't know. When? Who cares?
Yeah.
So that was a nice date, but I don't know. I was just like, why even go on a date with me if you know you aren't attracted to me?
What does he do?
He's a comedian. I know. I want to get a little less specific with him.
Yeah.
And then of course the other guy fucking texts me where it's like, have a great show, cool car. He was like really like getting a boner for my car too, which as you know has a fixed window, so it is looking pretty good. What are your thoughts?
Well, here's the thing. When I would date, and if a girl would text me within like a short amount of time from when the date ended, it usually means it went well. It always led to.
Do you think I should text the guy that I liked?
You like the headliner more.
Headliner, of course.
But you think he doesn't like...
Because I'm a star fucker.
Yeah. Oh, he's a star?
No, he's not a star.
Oh,
he's like
we'll go off.
You
know what? Maybe in the Patreon we'll talk about this. How about this? On the Patreon, we'll have another tier for Rebecca just outing all these people.
All these fucking white guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I usually don't text at all after. I usually like let them text me. That's usually a pretty good gauge. But I don't know. Have you not texted someone that you liked?
Well, yeah, because everyone's like a little. Everyone's afraid of getting hurt. Everyone's a little gun shy. You know.
Yeah. Do you think of a girl if it doesn't like? Have you texted someone that you're interested in but didn't seem interested in you?
I mean, my problem is I always assume people are interested in me, and when they are, and they're just like all like trying to get kissy face, right? I'm just like, oh, what? You're interested? I just assume they're. I mean, I'm so like hands off and kind of like I assume people don't even know my name, and I'm like, oh, you remembered my name?
But
like,
you did a lot of dating before you met your wife.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So did you ever not text someone that you were like, I was really into them, but they
Yes.
didn't seem interested in me?
Oh, did I text people?
Did you not text because you were like, I don't think they want to have sex with me?
There's a lot of times I probably didn't. I kind of let it like, but I wasn't somebody's like, I gotta wait like 3 days or 3 weeks or 3 months. You know, I usually, if I wanted to, I'd usually kind of see what happened and then kind of follow up and be like, you know, hey, this is fun. You won't, he's like, if you're down, do it again. Keep it very, you know, chill and open and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you think this guy's like out of your league or something?
I mean, I think I have a similar mentality to you. Like I grew up very like awkwardly, and I was like, me?
Yeah.
But then sometimes I feel like a fucking god. You know, someone's like, why not me? I'm a fucking model.
Yeah,
you know, like, so I don't know. I mean, I get such mixed, and all of it is so subjective. I think it's hard. I think we had a good time, and I made him laugh.
Have you talked? How long ago was this date? Just over the weekend? Yesterday?
Yesterday. Just like let it chill for
on a
second.
Sunday. Interesting.
The Lord's Day.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. I'll give you guys some updates.
Well, send him this episode.
Perfect.
Yeah, and then he could kind of read between the lines.
Perfect. Yeah. If you go on a date with me, you're going to get put on blast in an episode a couple weeks after. So just know that, men of Los Angeles, or Wisconsin. God, I'll be back.
If people want to know, more about you, like these dudes want to know, you made the top 5 of 2018 on Friends Without Benefits.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
And you're also with your episode with for the Boss Bitch podcast.
Yeah.
That was the 5th most downloaded episode of 2018.
For a little reference, I had a podcast before this one. I know. Before Ghost Town, what was there? There was nothing.
Yeah.
I understand, but there was some stuff. And my good friend and wonderful writer, comedian, Lindsay Harbert Silberman, and I did this podcast about women in power. It was really fun. Jason had us on, and if you want to listen to any of those, they're also on iTunes.
There's also there's 2 full episodes with you.
Yeah,
one's recent and one's so if you want to really get the full story, Friends Without
Not
Benefits.
Just a piece of me.
Yeah, just you get the whole thing.
Yeah.
Friends Without Benefits on Apple Podcasts or Stitcher or Castbox or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can check that out.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah,
if you want to really know more about my suburban upbringing, sex work, comedy to nobody, and then my life as a podcasting celebrity.
Well, would you say there was any time that you had a lot of walls built up around you? Because that would be perfect. Because for the next few moments, the walls will be going back up.
Oh, do I get to answer that?
What? No, let people find out. I don't even know if I want to know, honestly.
Got it.
Yeah, but we're going to talk about the Berlin Wall.
Yes.
For I guess a little kind of where I'm coming from. So, like I said, I grew up a child of the 80s. I believe media, kind of the sentiment was communism's bad. Mm-hmm. America's great. Mm-hmm. It was Russia, Russia bad, U.S. good. Whether it was the movie Rocky IV, or it was Red Dawn or something like that. There was just a lot of, Ronald Reagan, like very kind of powerful, kind of very Republican. Mm-hmm. Like I used to think Ronald Reagan was cool because he looked like I was into like dude stuff, even though I was terrible at sports, but I loved kind of
masculinity.
I loved
in the media.
Absolutely loved it. And, even though like my thoughts of Ronald Reagan aren't like the same as they were when I was like 10 years old. But obviously he plays a part in, the Berlin Wall around that time. But so talking about the Berlin Wall, it was just so iconic, communism, separation. And I always was like, oh, I'd love to go. And I was in Berlin 20 years ago. I did not go to the Berlin Wall. I was there for a very brief amount of time. So when my wife and I went back, when I went back with my wife, the Berlin Wall, and it's obviously when you're in Berlin, it's like a huge part of the tourism.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then which I think, I want to do an episode on Checkpoint Charlie, but I think that might be a Patreon only one because it's like it's important, but it's like I feel like I can, a little shorty, a little shorty, but it kind of works itself in. So patreon.com/ghosttownpod, baby, to check that out.
Get it.
Did you say like you? So I didn't learn about the Berlin. Well, I learned about the Berlin Wall, but not the Berlin Wall falling. Mm-hmm. Well, no, maybe I don't know if you got what makes the next edition of history books.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think looking at a history book like Berlin Wall, like I think like trickle down economics and all that. That was like the end of our history book, and we just like rushed through it in summer. Yeah. So
for those that are. You know what's the little side thing? You know Hedwig and the Angry Inch?
Love it.
Yeah, so that the Berlin Wall is like a huge part of that in reference to the songs. I always thought that was really cool.
I actually have a Hedwig poster here with John Cameron Mitchell signed it.
Oh yeah, he's great. He's so good.
Well, I remember forcing my brother to watch a lot of things that I liked. My middle brother, and him like patiently doing it. He also had to read a lot of YM magazine because I was like, Ricky Lake is important. You need to know her. But one of the things was Hedwig, and he loves it.
Yeah. So if you're
legacy.
Into that musical, which I've seen live, not with him, but it was great. And Berlin Wall is referenced. It's a little bit of a downer, but it depends.
Music's amazing. No,
yeah,
I wouldn't call it a downer as a whole.
It's a little tragic, but then it works itself out.
Yeah,
Definitely. Well, for those who are like, what's the deal with the Berlin Wall? Like,
oh my god,
you
never sounded older.
Did I? Can I still say Yas Queen?
I'm just throw this mic in the garbage.
Am I completely out of touch? Like, am I totally out of touch? The Berlin Wall was a barrier that surrounded West Berlin and prevented access from East Berlin to West Berlin, and a lot of that reason is West Berlin was more prosperous jobs, so people were like, just kind of heading over there, and then like communism and influence was like, let's put up a wall.
Yeah,
let's put up a wall. And in the years between 1949 and 1961, about 2.5 million East Germans had fled east to West Germany, which increased the rising number of skilled workers, professionals, intellectuals. I think the brain drain, where a lot of the thinkers went over there.
Yeah.
I remember some read like the brain drain. And that loss threatened to destroy the economic viability of the East German state. In response, East Germany built a barrier to close off East Germans' access to West Berlin and hence West Germany.
Yeah,
and that barrier, the Berlin Wall. Yeah,
they're like, we're going to maintain our pride. Yeah. We're making this choice.
And it was erected the night of August 12th through 13th, 1961. Michelle was telling me because she is second generation Russian. Her parents are like left Moscow and Kiev or whatever. She was telling me, sort of when we were there, that there were people that the night before, it's like we could be neighbors, right? And we could wake up the next day and the wall could just separate us. It was like, it wasn't like, hey, listen, in 2 months, get your affairs in order. It was like no wall, then wall, and then you were just separated, which is... it's terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, that's how they talk about a lot of like Nazi occupation and things like that. How instantaneous it is, and how like surreal, where it's like suddenly one day, your whole world perception is one way, and then the next day it's like no.
And they just kind of made this kind of, it was just in the place that it was, and if like your parents happen to live like half a mile away, that might be it.
Yeah.
And the original wall was built of barbed wire and cinder blocks, but replaced by a series of concrete walls up to 15 feet, and were topped with barbed wire and guarded with watchtowers, gun turrets, and mines. And by 1980, that system of walls, electrified fences, and fortifications extended 28 miles through Berlin, dividing two parts of the city, and extended a further 75 miles around West Berlin, separating it from the rest of East Germany.
Yeah. So
nuts. It's so recent.
Yeah.
It's not like we're talking about another century. We're not talking about.
No, I mean,
it's modern. It's very modern.
Very modern. There's actually an incredible museum in LA, the Wende Museum.
Okay.
It's just about Soviet. It's essentially Soviet history, and obviously talks a lot about the wall and just like how it impacted people, and how why certain places go through certain measures to maintain their belief system, or and it's like this wall too. It's like why or even, I mean, I think Chinese history too also talks about like these drastic measures to maintain the political infrastructure. Yeah. But so when you went, you didn't see the wall way back when.
I know I didn't. I did not. But when I went, it was like pretty. I mean, it was only a couple of years after. So I remember being in Prague, which I was at, just recently, but I remember being there, and I remember people kind of talking about you still feel like, kind of like that wave of communism. And I did a stand-up show in Prague. This is kind of going off, but she talked about, she was from maybe Ireland, and she was like an expat, I guess, living in Prague. And she said, she would deal with some people that she could tell still held on to communism. That's how recent, is what we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, this is still like the generation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it was so represented by the 80s. Like, it's so, from David Hasselhoff being there, it was just a very 80s thing. And, the way it's represented in movies and TV shows about, how, like, American culture and just that kind of like the punk culture.
Yeah.
And,
totally. Like that footage of the fall of the wall, which you'll talk about soon.
Yeah.
But like all the graffiti, I think I remember that part, and like gritty like TV footage.
It's just very. I just was always been obsessed with this when I was there. It was like obsessing. I have some video. I believe it's up on the Ghost Town YouTube channel, which we sometimes put stuff up on. It's Ghost Town. Yeah, so that's up there for you to look at. And there'll be a Ghost Town Pod on Instagram. We'll throw some pics up. There might be already some up there, and on my personal Instagram, which is the Jason Horton, I have some more on there. So there's plenty to go around. Not that you can't see it anywhere.
And there'll be some selfies on mine.
Yeah, of you with your posterity. With your eyelashes.
Yeah,
we'll do like an eyelid. Yeah, good eyelid. Yeah,
thank you. Yeah. I got a crumb stuck in. Someone had to just be like, "Hey, there's a crumb."
How did it get there?
I don't eat, so I never. I can't imagine.
I don't understand. Maybe some like eater dropped it on
my
me.
English muffin cheese breath. Straight into this mic.
I went to a museum. It was the DDR museum, which is so immersive. Like, they have what it was like to live in East Germany. I forget how to I have it here somewhere, but it's the Deutschland Democratic.
It's not Dance Dance Revolution.
No. They didn't even come out yet.
What are you fucking telling me?
I'm
now?
telling you that it didn't always exist. But the museum, it just really shows what it was like from the what's it like to be in a living room and what was on TV at the time. And it's just really, really, it's really immersive, and the cars they had, and it was just very kind of everyone I guess kind of had, but there was like, I remember seeing like bread. There was the availability of bread was so high. We're doing things with bread because they had so much of it to get rid of it. But like a transistor radio might be kind of tough to get your hands on.
Transistor radio lines.
Yeah. So it was the DDR museum. If you happen to go to Berlin, or if you just want to look up. The DDR museum is another huge.
We should also have, like, for places that we visited, like a list of recommendations or like a Google Doc thing that we can send people.
Well, I started
if they
doing
subscribe to the Patreon.
Yeah, I do have a travel blog that kind of ties into all this. GhostTownTravels.com. So do a little bit of that. I know I have one about eating McDonald's in Germany in Berlin. So eating at the McDonald's at Checkpoint Charlie. If you want to know what that was like, that is on my YouTube, which is youtube.com/Jason Horton. So and it's on the blog. So you can go check that out. But that museum is definitely, I mean, checking out the DDR museum is like, if you're there, it's going to be one of those things that's going to be recommended anyway. So you're going to know all about it. But the wall didn't stay up forever.
What,
Rebecca? Sometimes your walls have divided. To be your walls. I know you're an ice queen, but sometimes
my walls got to come down, baby.
That vape pen's got to just chip away. That e-cig's just going to chip.
I forgot that that happened.
No, I
just talked about it.
Forget.
Literally 15 minutes ago.
I remembered. It was weird. So in 1989, political changes in Eastern Europe and civil unrest, which has been going on for people are. Trying to escape and get over the wall. Put pressure on the East German government to loosen some of the regulations on travel to West Germany. At a press conference on November 9th, East German spokesman Gunter Schabowski announced that East Germans would be free to travel to West Germany starting immediately. He failed to clarify, though, that some regulations would remain in place, so it wasn't like it's all good.
It's like get into the candy store, but you also only have a couple dollars. So.
Yeah, you can only get black licorice. I know,
Why
right?
even bother?
Yeah, well, get what you can get. The actual fall of the Berlin Wall was the first step towards German reunification. The political, economic, and social impact of the fall of the Berlin Wall further weakened an already unstable East German government. Germany reunited officially on October 3rd, 1990, 11 months after the fall of the Berlin Wall. So it wasn't like when the wall fell, it was like completely official. But I mean, that was so huge,
Yeah.
Ronald Reagan,
Oh, definitely. I mean, again, it's like
tear down
pretty
this
shitty
wall,
president, but like,
But you know what I
known.
mean? Like was had kind of worldview politics kind of like stepped in there, and
Yeah, exactly. Even though, again, I also remember like Soviet, like the space race, that being a big part of it too.
The Iron Curtain, the whole. When I was in, it was like you feel like kind of that Eastern Bloc rock, like very, very, just very cool.
Yeah, it was very good. It was very dangerous. It was like very counterculture. Obviously, being Americans,
and art is like really, I think, really flourished, like especially street art. So the East Side Gallery, the Berlin Wall / East Side Gallery, which is where you get a lot of the really great pictures and the art, and it's I guess the longest existing open art gallery in the world, and it's on the banks of the Spree River, which is pretty cool. Speaking of the Spree River, and now that you're asking, when we were on the other side of the art of the wall, like the official art, there was a girl with her boyfriend, and I'll describe her. She kind of looked like Kylie Jenner.
Got it. She
had a bodysuit, just a one-armed bodysuit, so it kind of like cross.
Yeah.
And she was posing so hard for her Instagram pictures. I mean, she was even Michelle was like, work. and the boyfriend just kind of looked at me. He's like, she's got me trained, man. I was like, hey, man, dude.
Yeah.
But right above her, I don't think she planned it, but it said "fuck the police." Yes. So it's right along the Spree River.
Yeah, the youth in all these countries, we're all the same.
Yeah, officially
asymmetric.
So she was,
I'm readjusting.
Yeah, readjust for this. It officially opened as an open air gallery on September 20th, 1990. Over a year later, it was given protected memorial status. So it's.
So wait, how much of the wall is still up right now?
There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot. A lot of it is a lot of stretches. It's up. A lot of the pieces have been moved. Obviously, there's moved around the world. There's like a piece here and a piece there. But there's a lot that are like not painted. I saw some. I think there might be bullet holes in it. It's hard. I didn't have like a guide so to kind of officially tell. But there was just there's a lot of wall, and it's kind of serves as now it's been kind of taken over as a reminder, and a lot of. I forget the name of the kiss, that famous picture of there's a famous
Klimt. Gustav Klimt?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. There's
it's a man holding a woman.
No, it's two men kissing, and I forget who. I did a ton of research last night about it. It's the something kiss. It was the way it was somebody from maybe Germany and somebody from Russia. Do a little, yeah. It's this. I forget.
Stall.
Yeah, I'll stall.
Vamp.
But it was interesting because the picture of this kiss, it looks like somebody, but it is really just a painting of the photograph, and it was just the two men kissing. But I think that's just the way they embrace each other. But it's the most famous.
Oh wait,
just put Berlin Wall kiss. It's
socialist fraternal kiss.
Yeah, socialist fraternal. The fraternal kiss is what it is. That's exactly.
But it's from a photograph.
But it's from a photo, which I did not know that. I thought it was like a social. Completely made as a social statement, but it is. Yeah,
this is it.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's a pretty intense kiss for like a hello.
It's a very fraternal kiss. That's what it is. So that's
we're gonna put this up on.
We'll
Instagram.
Everything will be up. That was probably that's like the kind of centerpiece photo, but it's like just a ton of great art.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of there's just a lot of they preserve a lot of things like Checkpoint Charlie, and there's a lot of obviously tourism is important, but it's as a like reminder. And also, kind of like a reclaiming. I don't know. I'm not a German citizen, so it's not really for me to say. And that's just kind of what I kind of took away from that, and talking to some other people that were there.
I would love to hear anyone's testimonial. Like I do. I feel like a stupid American who's just trying to learn and who's very passionate about history and different cultures. So if anyone has any stories or their parents themselves, like I would love to. I love like testimonials. About specific points in history, especially like very disruptive and traumatic. Just what I like to do.
Yeah,
for fun.
Yeah, and then just like the tearing down of a wall is like very. It's exciting, It's just always all very exciting as a kid because it was like an action movie, and everything was kind of it's like G.I. Joe, Transformers, and like, Rocky and
Yeah.
all like, missing in action. Everything was, very anti, I was essentially kind of conditioned to hate Russians.
Yeah.
That's what you
And
know what I mean?
toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Masculinity.
No, they didn't.
No, not to hate that.
No, they
embrace
said to
it.
embrace that.
Embrace
Even though
it.
that was never really, I just thought that this was like a very like kind of masculine thing.
It is.
And I was going to go into it. I'm not going to go into that right now. About how 80s movies, like the way women were kind of depicted in the 80s.
Oh, awful.
Just kind of passed around.
Awful.
Michelle talks about that
Awful.
a lot. But like even in John Hughes movies, it's like,
No, it's
to get passed around or kind of get, even though like when you're watching the movie, like I'm not thinking like these women are being objectified. I'm just kind of like everyone's having fun.
No, it's like a woman is like a hot woman is like a prize.
Yeah.
I always think like in my head right now I was like a woman who's in like almost like Jane Fonda like workout like really tight and they have like 80s women have like really like they're built and they're like tall and like,
I loved
muscular
it.
and like, it was like a guy on like a fratty guy's arm and it was she would always be like a little like herself, but that's my perception of it. But yeah, it's not overt a lot of the. I mean, it is a lot of the time too, but we've been conditioned. It's really
that's why I think all of that always made me and plus just being always obsessed with historical landmarks or things that have been abandoned or whatever the case may be. So this was like kind of one of my probably the apex place would be Chernobyl. I mean, that's like I think about it all that. I'm not going to get too off, but that would be
oh my god, that'd be so fun.
that would I think really kind of be the kind of the top of my list.
Yeah, I mean, fun. I feel bad saying. I mean, I'm so interested.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of all. It little ties in a little bit, like Russia. You know what I mean?
It does. It does. I mean,
Ukraine or whatever.
Historical
Yeah.
fabric.
Yeah.
I just want to nestle in it.